colleagues across the aisle who are asking us to get out of the way and stop trying to block things in the courts, let me tell you, we do not work for an unelected billionaire like apparently this guy does. We work for the American people. And so if an unelected, unvetted individual private citizen is hacking our government systems, breaking the law, firing federal employees, dismantling statutorily created agencies, withholding funds, we are going to fight you in the courts. And I'm actually really sad that my dear friend Mr. Burchett left, because I want to talk about that gravy train on biscuit wheels that he just talked about, because that gravy train is not the federal workforce. It's the billionaires that are trying to hack that system right now, and which unfortunately my colleagues right now are working on a reconciliation deal to cut Medicaid, to cut Medicare, and use that money to give to tax breaks to their billionaire buddies.
I now recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gill, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All we've heard about for most of this hearing from the other side of the aisle is Elon Musk, unelected bureaucrat. And I'd like to ask if Democrats really care about unelected bureaucrats making decisions over our lives, where were they whenever their god Anthony Fauci was forcing vaccine and mask mandates on the American people for 4 years during the COVID crisis? Where were they whenever unelected Alejandro Mayorkas was facilitating the invasion of our country by illegal aliens who were murdering and raping and pillaging our people? Where were they whenever the Secretary of Education, unelected Cardona, targeted states and schools and people who were disagreed with his view of the radical left's transgender ideology? Where were they whenever Gary Gensler, former chairman of the SEC, also unelected, was lawlessly thwarting the development of financial markets, particularly in the crypto space, by lawlessly pursuing regulation via enforcement? They were nowhere to be seen because they don't care, because all of those things benefited their side of the aisle at the expense of ours. And perhaps that's also why they don't seem to be very interested in rooting out improper payments from our federal government. If you wonder why so many people are cynical about American politics, this is it. This is exactly why. The reality is that Elon Musk serves as an employee of the president, and we were given a massive mandate to carry out what he's been doing. His job is to carry out the will of the American people as expressed through the executive. That's exactly how the Constitution is supposed to work. The Constitution did not create an unelected, unaccountable fourth branch of government in the administrative state. The Democrat Party has for decades systematically grown and weaponized the administrative state against the American people, and the American people have had enough of it. Right now, we're talking about $2.7 trillion in improper payments since 2003. We're uncovering what could be the biggest money laundering scandal in American history. And the other side of the aisle could care less. They have no concern about where this money went, to what entities it went, to what governments, to what people or groups. Nothing. All they want to talk about is Elon Musk incessantly. So it does make me wonder, if they don't care about where it's going, do they have an idea? Because what we've uncovered so far is that so much of the waste, fraud, and abuse of our federal government is actually funding their side of the aisle. It's funding media outlets that are running cover for Democrats routinely. The NPR, PBS, the BBC, Politico. It's going to fund left-wing NGOs that are facilitating the invasion of our country. It's going to fund left-wing transgender activism and sex changes all over the globe. This is money that's being used, taken from the American people, and used against their interests.
against American interests might only be the tip of this iceberg. And that is the best way to describe this so far. The Democrats, of course, don't know what they're talking about, have been asleep on the wheel, and will continue to cry and complain and moan as the Republican Party, as Donald Trump, and of course, the Department of Government Efficiency, headed up by Elon Musk, who, by the way, is slowly breaking away from the White House to go back and focus on his corporations and companies, because we're starting to find that there's a little miniature civil wars going on over at Twitter, so he's having to put out some fires, and he's still getting everything done. So no wonder they don't like Elon Musk. He's an actual competent bureaucrat, and is making everyone else look bad. But you know what? There's another reason why the Democrats hate Elon Musk. Because in this era of politics, almost everything politicians do is based around feedback in order to get more money for their re-election campaigns. And what they found is the feedback against Elon Musk comes back in basically this giant loop. They say Elon Musk does something bad, the mainstream media reports on it, the people watching mainstream media immediately agree with it, and they give politician money. It's this giant loop that just keeps on working over and over and over again. And of course, like most money laundering schemes, it's not actually based on reality.